Welcome to our site, EcuadorGuru. My wife Maria and I just wanted to visit with you a little bit and tell you about our experience and what brought us to Ecuador and some of the things we've encountered. And again, welcome.
Well, I'd like to tell you my experience as well. It took me about 5 or 6 years to accept the idea that my husband wanted to take me to another country. I was born in Mexico, but up to the age of 9, I lived in Mexico until my family took me to the United States, which I have lived there ever since, and so it was a little difficult for me to accept that I was going to go to another country. However, last year we did make that trip down there, and I absolutely fell in love with the country. It's absolutely beautiful. What I really enjoy down there is the peaceful, and it's so quiet in the Cululawa crater where we're at, and I believe that you're truly going to enjoy it.
Coming to Ecuador wasn't such a big deal for me because I grew up here. I moved with my parents here in 1957. And we lived here in South America, Ecuador, for 14 years. And then a little later in life, I lived in Mexico for 12 years, where I met my lovely wife, Maria. Coming to Ecuador for the second time, we also found, or I found as well, that there are certain challenges that we had to figure out. Ecuador is a wonderful place to live, and it's everything that I remembered as a kid. It's just absolutely beautiful. The people are the sweetest people in the world. And everyone's so ready to help you, and I speak Spanish, of course, but I've noticed for those people that don't, they're very welcoming, and so willing to help and speak what English they can, and it's just such a wonderful experience. Another thing, coming back to Ecuador, I noticed how safe it is here, and how you're protected in the malls and the banks, and they're there to help you. They don't stop you unnecessarily and try to, extort you for money, or none of those things happen. So aside from beauty and a welcoming people and a wonderful climate, it's just such a pleasurable place to live, and the cost of living is just amazing. Maria, some of your thoughts?
Well, I feel the same way. I've been a nurse for 30 years, and I couldn't wait to stop that fast-paced life. I just didn't know how to get out of it here in the United States. But in Ecuador, it's like going back and slowing down. It's just another world, but a very pleasant. I found that the people are very helpful, they're very pleasant, just very enjoyable. It was a very pleasant experience.
Because of the calm way of life and the nice climate and the wonderful natural food, no GMOs, well then, that's caused people to live longer in Ecuador than anywhere else in the world practically. It's one of the 3 top countries for longevity. Many people living to be 110, 120 years old, especially in Vilcabamba. It's known for that. As a child, I lived in Otavalo and Cotacachi. We lived in Quito, Guayaquil, and traveled all over the country. So I got a real good feel for a lot of the places when I was a child. And now that I come back, I've seen that yes, it's grown, it's developed, but it's the same wonderful Ecuador that I remember as a child. The purpose of this site is to help people find a friend in Ecuador that can help them with all their questions about immigration, about how to get a visa, where a person can stay, a person that can help translate for them as they travel around the country. And we're really here to help those that would like to move to Ecuador also. That's really our focus. We purchased 19 acres down in the Cululawa volcano crater. It's been dormant for 2,500 years. It's perfectly safe, but it's about an hour outside of Quito. And we can pick you up at the airport. Angel will pick you up, bring you down to the crater. You'll stay with us. And in the 19 acres, we've created a really neat place with gardens, organic vegetables, and we have hens for the eggs, and we have horses to ride, and cows, fresh milk and cheese. All those things that aren't pasteurized, just really natural atmosphere for everyone. We're vegetarian and kind of have that lifestyle. And that's what we share with all those that come out. Fresh Colombian coffee, all the things that you would thoroughly enjoy. There's no noise from the city. You won't find traffic going by us. It's the most tranquil, beautiful place you've ever seen in your life, probably. Cululawa is a botanical reserve where there are more varieties of orchids And an interesting thing about the elevation of Pululao, right around 8,000 feet, we don't have any bugs or any snakes. And we have the climate that's just unbelievable. In fact, it's called the land of eternal spring. You'll come there and there'll be sweater weather in the evening, maybe just a little bit, and early in the morning. But you'll be comfortable year-round. We have a couple months that's rainy season, but always just paradise. At night, you can see the skies and the stars. And in fact, it feels like we don't even have airplanes flying over the crater. Certainly no traffic. You'll be amazed. When we arrived in Quito, we quickly found that we needed to know where we could exchange money. We didn't know where we might be able to find our way to go to the beach or go to the jungles, and all these things that a person that has an interest in going to Ecuador would want to know. So that's why we developed this site and this service, that if you tell us you're coming down for 5 days and you give us some of your interest, we'll be able to plan something where you could go to Mindo, the butterfly capital of the world, or to Santo Domingo de los Colorados, which is like the gateway to the jungles, or the ocean, and Montañita or Guayaquil, certainly Cuenca, Baños, the city with 32 waterfalls that surround it. All of these places that we'd love to show you. The natural market in Otavalo, and the leather works in Cotacachi, Ambato, and all the handiwork that they make and sell all over Ecuador. We'll take you to all the key places and help you do the bargaining and do the translating for you. You will have a blast.
You know, honey, what I noticed also, it's kind of a world of the old world where the Indians are still riding on burros and carrying loads. They bring their fruit to the market on their donkeys, and at the same time, the young people are thriving. They want technology. They want cell phones. They want internet. And they do. They're very savvy as well.
Yes.
I think I was expecting to be in a country that was all completely backwards and old.
Worse than third world.
Right.
And that's not the case at all.
But it's not the case. I was very pleased to find that there's a lot of modern stores there in Quito,
we went to the malls several times. They have 3 malls.
We were in the
there.
U.S., correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing, the highways, the streets, and the infrastructure. The Presidente Correa has really done amazing things for Ecuador. The money, for example,
yes,
the dollar
indeed.
is a dollar.
Yes.
You know, so you don't have to learn a new currency or an exchange rate. And we felt very safe and very
comfortable.
We had all the luxuries. We had internet. We had everything we needed.
Where at the same time, you can also retrieve at the Pululao crater where we're at. And there's only like 26 families that live in that humongous area.
4,000 hectares, this botanical reserve, the largest and the first one in Ecuador.
And now we're going to be one of the 20. We're going to be 27 families there probably.
Yes. And when you folks come, another family. Yeah. Here you see some of the examples of the orchids. And in Pululao crater, we have 18 varieties right there on the property. But when we go down to Mindo to show you the butterfly capital of the world, you're going to see many, many varieties of hummingbirds and butterflies, all kinds of plant and fauna. And that's just about 45 minutes down from the house.
Some of the orchids there at the Pululao crater where we're at, they just grow wild at the foot of the mountain.
That's true.
And
We've gone down and picked some of them, brought them up to the ranch because it's just right down by the spring. And
yes.
We've carried them up there. We've cheated a little bit, so we've added to the 18 varieties that are there, but it's absolutely paradise.
Yes.
When you folks come, you'll see, you'll have so many questions about, you know, how do you do this? Oh, one thing, when you want to come to Ecuador, you don't need to go to the embassy or consul or something. Just get on a plane, fly down, just call us, give us a call or on the website, contact us, let us know you're coming so we can pick you up. But they'll stamp your visa right when you arrive there. And then just come in at the airport,
Yes.
and then just come in and you can stay for
3 months.
For 90 days, for 3 months with that visa. Now, if you become enamored with a place, we can start your immigration process and go ahead and get your residency. And inside of 2 years, you could be a citizen and have your own Ecuadorian passport. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So, what do you think, sweetheart? Are we ever going to leave Ecuador?
No, I think we're going to stay here.
All right. See you soon.